going on, guys? Zach from Stable Minded. We're back with another edition of Stable Spotlight at ETHDenver. We're pumped to have Daniel from CoinFlow here. Daniel, first, thanks for being a supporter of Stable Minded and Stable Studios with Stable House. Man, it's been great to hang out with you so far.
Dude, it's been awesome. Really excited about the turnout. So many people excited about Stablecoins. I don't know, 2 years ago, having like 200 people here, just want to talk about Stablecoins, everything going on in the fintech space. I would have not predicted that. So tailwinds have definitely come. People are excited. People are doing stuff. So yeah, it's been a great day.
And despite market conditions, like everybody that I've talked to is more bullish than ever. I had a few non-crypto guys that text me, "Hey, let me know how ETHDenver goes." And I said, "Look, at least for the group I'm talking with, you wouldn't have known that Bitcoin was dipping right now."
Yeah, I think it's a good point. Like, no one here is talking about price. No one here is talking about some abstract token thing. Everyone's talking about how just really like you can use stablecoins to make either business use cases better, merchant use cases better, retail use cases better, but just like actually finding value. So they're not worried about some abstract token price, which is great.
Well, and I think the great thing is kind of like what we were talking about at our drinks last night is this kind of decoupling from stablecoins to the rest of the market, where it's like I don't know how much longer a lot of the CoinFlows of the world, for example, are going to be dependent on the market conditions. When 2 years ago it was, hey, if crypto was down, anybody in the stablecoin payment space was down.
Right, exactly. So I totally agree, and I think the biggest reason for that, and for the folks who don't know what CoinFlow is, we are a payment service provider. So we take traditional forms of payments. So think about buying a coffee with a card. That coffee shop, we're at a coffee shop today, that's where we host an event, it takes 2 or 3 days for them to settle. So anytime we're paying them for coffee, it's going to take 2 or 3 business days to settle.
Just for them to get their money.
Just for them to get their money. So what CoinFlow does is as soon as that card's authorized, let's say it's a Visa card, we instantly settle funds to that merchant, this coffee shop, and they can receive those stable coins, they can go spend them, they can go issue a card off of it, etc. Wow. But it gets really cool when you have use cases where it's like a coffee shop and they have to pay split tips. So if you're not getting your money as a business for 4 or 5 days, you can't pay your workers out the tips. So think about a stablecoin, right? You swipe your card, we instantly settle at the coffee shop. They have that stablecoin. They can make a transaction, like a second fraction of a penny, to the person, the barista, and they can go home with that on a Friday night, Saturday night, Monday night, whatever it is. Same day.
Man, that's insane.
So like that's the kind of value we're adding. Instead of people, the business and their employees waiting to get paid from a transaction, we're allowing that to happen. And it's not just coffee shops. Like, we're servicing tons of different verticals, businesses, crypto and non-crypto, mainly non-crypto nowadays.
Please talk to me more about, I love, in my past life, in my last role, we worked a ton with like non-Web3 verticals. And that's actually what got me super into stablecoins, was seeing like, oh, this guy wants to pay his dev in Ukraine in stables. Why are they coming to us, and why aren't they just doing it, wallet to wallet? Talk to me more about some of these non-Web2 ones that probably, I assume at some point, have surprised you.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we have a ton. Some of the cool ones that I really like are, so like Twitch and like content streaming sites are popping up everywhere. Like anyone can, stream a video game. I'm a huge gamer, I used to be.
The creator economy is massive.
It's massive, and it's global, right? Like people are viewing it from the US, they might be viewing someone in Korea or Brazil. So we have customers that have marketplaces tip these creators. So you can use a card and you can tip someone who's a creator in Brazil. You're a US person. We settle. So as soon as the card's swiped, that's an internet, so typed in. Yep. We instantly sell stablecoins to that creator in Brazil, and the same day, instantly, they can go to their bank account. So like that whole transaction, if you use Stripe, if you use a different infrastructure provider for payments, would take 5 to 7 days.
And what are those fees like right now?
It's the same, if not cheaper, using a Stripe or anyone else. But in terms of value, they're getting US dollars. So if they want to keep it in US dollars, let's say the creator is not in Brazil. Let's say they're in Argentina and the value is fluctuating. By the time you might get your money, your currency might have already dropped a few percent. So now you're keeping it in a US denominated currency, and you're only going to go to your traditional local payment method and currency for when you want to buy groceries or whatever. So we call like in the moment FX. So you can keep it in the most stable dollar ever, which is the US dollar. And then as soon as you want to spend that, you just swap to local currency instantly by hitting withdraw.
That's massive. And so how much of the payments are living like within a CoinFlow account, and just like people are getting them delivered straight to their wallets and straight to some self-custody solution?
Yeah, it's definitely a mix. I'd say that most of it's going to self-custody solutions, because we primarily use self-custody solutions, some custodial, but it really varies in use cases. Like that's the cool thing about being a payment service provider is like we can service, a very wide range of businesses, including just traditional businesses that have realized that like if you're operating the stablecoin era when money's moving as fast as data's moving, you have to have really good fraud engines. And what that empowers us to do is just take on a bunch of customers that really care about not having chargebacks, not even worry about fraud, because we figured it out since we're moving money instantly.
Man, so many people are I know a ton of merchants, especially in the SMB space, that are terrified of chargebacks. And some of them actually, like, I was talking to a guy who he knows is a construction business.
Right.
He won't take credit cards because he's
scared of chargebacks.
He's so scared of chargebacks. But how do you reconcile this with a digital economy? Like, your business is either going to die,
right,
or you're going to adapt.
Exactly. So we make it super easy for them to do that. Not have to worry about chargebacks. We do all the settlement, all the reconciliation. And yeah, just do that globally. So there's tons of use cases. I just named the creator economy one. You mentioned a dev in Ukraine. So we do this too. Like, say we're a company, we want to have someone that either a dev or a creator of some sort. Let's say make a pitch deck for us or a landing page. We empower bill plate platforms that are all over the world. Philippines, Argentina, Europe, same thing. You can pay the bank transfer card. As soon as that payment's made, we instantly settle those funds via stablecoin. That would have taken 3, 4, 5 business days. Fees would have got hit with multiple banks for FX. We instantly settle it there. They can keep it in that wallet, as I said, US denominated. And you get people making cool products like Rain, who can issue cards, like virtual spending cards off that balance. So it's essentially this US dollar bank account that they just now have. They can spend cards, they can keep it in there. But as soon as if they wanted that money instantly too, they can just go withdraw to local currency.
Has there been any regions that, like, obviously, there's a lot of talk about, Philippines, I hear that a lot, Brazil, Argentina. Has there been any regions that, like, really surprised you?
I think not me, because I've seen this pain point in the US, but I think a lot of people are just think that the US isn't going to have like stablecoin adoption because our banking system's figured out here. It is totally fucking not.
Yeah.
So I think like a good example of this is like there's tons of people have taken Ubers to our event today. Same example of like you swipe your card, you pay for Uber. Today's Wednesday, right? That payment might hit Uber on Friday, maybe, right? And then if they go pay out the driver, they push from Uber's bank account to the driver's bank account. Banks are closing Friday or Saturday, Sunday. So the driver's not getting their payment till Monday, Tuesday. Yeah. So we did a ride on Wednesday. He provided his services. He's not getting paid till Monday or Tuesday the next week. That sucks.
Do you have any opinions on real-time payments? Like, like constant streaming? Like, is that in your roadmap in the future? Is that a little too ambitious right now?
Yeah, so we connect a bunch of real-time payment rails, including real-time payouts in the US. There's no pull in the US for real-time payments, but how we envision it is like more and more real-time payment networks are coming out. We're connected to instant SEPA in Europe, instant fast payments in the UK, PIX in Brazil. So these are instant payment rails in different jurisdictions. However, there's no instant payment globally. So what we do is we connect to those rails in that jurisdiction. And then as soon as that payment is made instantly, we turn it to stablecoin, and then we can move it wherever. And there's no way that anything ever happens instant payment globally that's not stablecoin. The reason for that is politics, right? Like, if I'm the U.S. and we have our own real-time payment rail, right? RTP through the clearinghouse, it's only push. Let's imagine it was pull and push. So you can, send money, grab money from people's banks, etc. Say we solved that. Great. Brazil solved that via PIX. There's no way that the U.S. lets Brazil plug into the central banking system and pull push from U.S. users' account. So, like, it's a political issue at global scale, but commerce happens globally. So our solution is plug into those rails domestically, whether it's U.S., Brazil, etc. As soon as payments happen, turn that into digital dollars and move them freely around the world. It's pretty simple, but it's magical.
And so we talked about this a little bit yesterday. Where do you see stablecoins fitting in with U.S.-based consumer, or even just merchant payments?
I think it's all in the back end. Like, it's not going to be... It might be like a small portion of people paying with their stablecoins, which it'll grow. It's going to be like an alternative payment rail, kind of like, a Venmo of sorts. You can deposit some places.
I assume it's even what happened with American Express. So
yeah.
At first it was Visa, MasterCard, and then, American Express and Discover come out.
Exactly.
It used to not be that you could go to everywhere and American Express was accepted.
Exactly. Even in Europe, right? Not really widely accepted American Express. So same thing. Like, I think it'll start gaining traction at a network level. But the beauty is like having stablecoins connected to traditional financial rails, and the end users don't know it's there. The end businesses don't even know. So they're just like, the barista at the coffee shop shouldn't care how she got paid out 3 days quicker.
Yeah.
They just care that, oh my God, I don't have to
wait
wait for it.
Paid out 3 days quicker. I'm making my rent now.
Exactly. So like that's the beauty of stablecoins is it's boring, and like it doesn't have to be sexy and in front of everyone's face. Like a Bitcoin, you don't really need to understand how it works. Just like most people don't
Just
understand
reap the benefits.
Yeah,
just be happy.
And I think that's like how many people in this room or in the world can explain how Visa works? But everyone uses a Visa card or like a MasterCard.
I love
right?
that. I love that comparison.
They can't explain how it works, but they know that they
know that it's better than cash.
They know it's better than cash, and they can pay with it. Or like credit cards, even like most people don't even know like how the credit system works, right?
Man,
but they know it works.
Yeah, card on site, card not on site. You tell that to somebody, they're like, "Wait, I paid. There was different fees paid for that." They're like, "I just thought there was a fee at some point."
Exactly. So like that's the point of this infrastructure. Is like the beauty of it is not to have everyone know how it works. You just tell them the benefits, and the benefits are clear. It's like you can get paid faster, and meaning as soon as you get paid faster, you can start earning interest on that. So now you're earning more money too, and that's it. Like it's the same. Swipe your card. You can pay with it too if you want. If you want to explore, there's gonna be early adopters, but for the majority of the folks, like you can just now get paid faster.
And so, where can people find CoinFlow? Where should they go to check you out?
People can find CoinFlow if they come to Chicago and come to our office. We're in West Loop. Always happy to find you.
You said you guys do a lot of events too, right?
We do a lot of events in Chicago. So if you're there, happy to hang out. If it's the winter, inside, but outside if it's any time but then. But otherwise, coinflow.cash. That's our website. We're getting a lot louder on Twitter and LinkedIn and all their social medias. We're doing a lot of cool stuff. We are growing extremely fast. I have merchants and business across all different categories, from crypto exchanges to wallets to remittance platforms to marketplace to creator to gig economy to other fintechs. So really, like to e-commerce. I mean, like if you go buy a Melania Trump book, even like that's through CoinFlow. So basically,
that's so cool.
But yeah, and like that just shows that just e-commerce for companies that realize they're attracting a global audience that needs to be prepared for fraud. Like you can imagine how many people want to defraud. Like fraudsters hit the first, the first lady of the White House. So we're protecting them from fraud and being able to settle them instantly. But yeah, people can find us on social media as well. We're getting louder thanks to you guys. So
yeah. Thanks for the plug.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully find us everywhere.
Awesome, man. Anything you want to leave them with? You got any hot, spicy takes?
Hot, spicy takes. No hot, spicy takes, man. I think
just getting the job done.
Just getting the job. The job's not done.
Job's not done. There we go. Let's end it there. Dan, thanks for coming
so much,
on, man.
It's been great.
Till next time. See you later. Stay stable.